everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on Now. With more asylum seekers arriving in Portland, we're learning about what it took for them to get here.
You can get lobster anywhere in Portland, but this new restaurant on the working waterfront is actually run by families in the fishing industry.
Ever read the book Around the World in 80 Days? Tonight we're going to tell you how you might be able to mirror the adventures of Phileas Fogg in that amazing story. It's a pretty cool trip. We'll tell you about it coming up. This is News Center Now. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lee Nelson.
And I'm Amanda Hill in for Lindsay Mills tonight. In the news, there are now more than 150 asylum seekers who've arrived in Portland since Sunday. And with another bus of people on the way, that number is expected to get even higher. Many of them are being housed temporarily at the Portland Expo because other facilities are full or overflowing already.
And as city officials in Portland work to keep everybody as comfortable as possible, we're learning more about what it took for these people to arrive here in the first place. Samantha York is here with that. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Lee and Amanda. Yeah, when you walk into the Portland Expo, you're greeted by a sea of cots, children playing, and a handful of people brave enough to share their story. Sandrine came here from Cameroon, which she described as a war-torn country full of violence and fear. She's worried about persecution from her home country, so she asked we didn't share her face or her last name. But this is her story.
We are not free. There's no freedom there.
With the help of an interpreter, Sandrine recounts what forced her family to leave everything they knew behind.
We're being asked, like, why are you fleeing? Well, we're fleeing because we have nothing. There's only war back at home.
Like many others seeking asylum here, her journey from Cameroon to the United States was not simple.
We started walking through the forest, through all the countries where we've been walking and walking with all the children. There's days we didn't get any food, days without washing. We slept in the forest.
She says her family lived like this for more than 4 months until finally reaching the southern border of the United States and eventually their final destination, Portland, Maine. Now, Sandrine and more than 100 others seeking asylum in the city are being sheltered here at the Portland Expo.
I'm very, very thankful for everything that you've done for us.
She says it's not just the hospitality she's thankful for, but the opportunities Maine will bring to her family, especially her baby boy.
I know that he'll be able to study peacefully and that he'll be able to grow. So it's a great joy.
As the city works to provide Sandrine and others with everything they need, she says what they have now is more than she could have hoped for, and she can't wait to see what the future holds.
We're going to start over. We're going to start a new life. We're happy to be here. We love the United States, and we're really thankful and really happy for everything you do for us.
Now, as we mentioned, city officials are running out of room and also funds for these asylum seekers, but so far they've been able to collect more than $63,000 in donations. And the president of the University of Southern Maine has offered up a dorm on the Gorham campus until August 7th. And Governor Janet Mills is expected to be here tomorrow to speak with city leaders to determine how and if the state will be providing funds to assist. Guys, back to you.
Awesome. Sounds like short term anyway, they're really stepping up to help. They being lots of people. All right, Sam, thank you very much. We'll check some news this evening, day 4 of the John Williams trial, and today the jury got to see a live demonstration of how the state says Corporal Eugene Cole was killed. The prosecution called a Maine State Police investigator who's trained in bloodstain pattern analysis and shooting analysis and reconstruction. Before the jury got to see this, the defense argued against the witness, but the judge allowed it. After analyzing all of that evidence, the investigator determined it was not possible Corporal Cole was standing when he was shot, but rather he was either on his hands and knees or crouching down, and that his arm was up in a defensive move. Shannon Moss is going to have much more on this coming up in the next 90 minutes.
Also around the state, a bill requiring public and private insurance companies to cover abortion is now law in Maine. Democratic Governor Janet Mills signed it today, a day after the legislature finalized the measure. The approval comes after the state faced a lawsuit over its restrictions on abortion providers. It is the second bill passed recently by the legislature to open up abortion access.
All right, so Keith was very happy to be here yesterday when it was beautiful, and he ducked right out because it's not. So Jess is here to clean things up for him. Hey, Jess.
That's right.
He's hiding.
I have to clean up everything. We have some rain showers, guys, out there today. We'll see some rain still through this evening, but then some brighter skies on the way for the next couple of days at least. So you can still see plenty of rain out there right now. We'll continue to see these showers through the next couple of hours, and then for tomorrow, a couple showers will still hang on, but then it's going to clear up at least in time for the first half of the weekend. So some good news there. Still some more rain again off to our south and west, and we could see just a few showers around for the day tomorrow, but it should warm up tomorrow too. Look at these current temperatures, 53 right now in Bangor, 51 currently in Portland and in Wiscasset, 50 in Augusta and Lewiston. Temperatures actually dropped, you may have noticed, as we went throughout the day. This is the temperature difference between this time yesterday and this time today, 15 to 25 degrees cooler in spots. It is cold out there with the rain. The clouds kept the sun away today. So again, we'll see those showers continue overnight, but then as we go through the day tomorrow, it'll at least start to dry up a little bit and temperatures should be able to warm up a little bit more. And then the first half of the weekend, guys, looks pretty good. We could be talking 80 in some spots. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit.
What is that going to feel like?
I don't even know.
All right, checking tonight's headlines. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders will be leaving the Trump administration at the end of the month. President Donald Trump announcing the news on Twitter. He says Sanders will be returning to her home state of Arkansas and has not immediately named a successor. Sanders is one of the president's closest and most trusted White House aides and one of the few remaining who worked on his campaign. Trump hopes that she will run for governor one day.
Meantime, a federal watchdog agency is recommending that President Trump fire one of his most ardent defenders, Kellyanne Conway. The reason? Well, the U.S. Office of Special Counsel says Conway has repeatedly violated a law that limits political activity by government workers. The agency calls Conway a repeat offender of the Hatch Act, saying she's regularly disparaged Democratic presidential candidates while speaking in her official capacity as a presidential advisor. A White House spokesman called the agency's decision deeply flawed, adding they were not planning on firing Conway.
Authorities say one of the men they're looking for in the shooting of David Ortiz is believed to be the same man who's wanted in Pennsylvania on an attempted homicide charge. His name is Luis Rivas Clase. He is charged in an April 2018 shooting in Reading, Pennsylvania. Police there say the man told them he threatened to have him killed a few days before the shooting of Ortiz. The former slugger remains in guarded condition at Mass General Hospital. So far, 5 people have been arrested in connection with this attack. So we will continue to see where that goes, because that's a very interesting.
It's unfolding. There's a lot going on in that case.
For sure, for sure. All right, we have some good news.
Okay.
More adults are exercising.
All right, but I'm going to temper that news by saying they need to exercise more, okay? This is according to a brand new report from the Centers for Disease Control showing that only 25% of adults living in urban areas, that's who they studied, got enough physical activity in 2017. Now that is up from 2008 when only 19% of adults met the physical activity guidelines at the time. So how much is enough? Well, the CDC says adults should get 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity aerobic activity and do muscle strengthening exercise at least twice a week. All right, so get to work.
You're definitely in the exercise category.
Yeah.
I am not.
No?
I am not. No.
Yeah, I managed to hit those numbers. All right, we're going to take a little break here, but coming up, like a lot of companies are doing right now, Target is stepping up its shipping game, so we're going to tell you just what they're doing.
Yeah, also ahead, we're going to learn more about a new restaurant on Portland's waterfront that has deep ties to the area it's in. Okay, so Target, the store, is expanding its same-day delivery.
Yes, they sure are. Shoppers in 47 states, including the state of Maine, will now be able to get their items delivered to their doorstep, sometimes in as little as an hour.
That's a little freaky.
Yeah. There is a flat fee of $9.99 per order for the convenience. Up until now, only Shipt members could get same-day delivery options from Target, and that service cost $99 a year. But now it's available on an order-by-order basis without having to sign up for any annual membership or anything. Target says the option should be added to its mobile app before the holidays, and it's currently live already on your computer and mobile web browser.
Interesting.
And this, researchers crunched some numbers and say the electricity required for the virtual currency Bitcoin, generates as much carbon dioxide as a whole city like Las Vegas.
Okay, the number crunchers were at the Technical University of Munich. They first calculated the power consumption of the entire Bitcoin network. They then combined the results with the carbon emissions from electricity production in the countries where the computers were located. And one of the researchers, who also works at MIT, says the findings should prompt policymakers to consider regulating Bitcoin so it uses mainly low-carbon, renewable energy.
And you say, well, you know, why is this important? The amount of computer power it takes to run that whole thing is like apparently crazy huge.
Yeah.
So
did Bitcoin ever really take off, though? I mean, I'm not using it.
Me neither. I'm terrified of it. All right, we got to take a break here. Coming up, though, this is very interesting. The cost to travel around the world in 80 days might surprise you. It's not that expensive.
Also, hopefully, we will get great weather for the next 80 days. Just back with a look at the weekend forecast.
In Portland in the summer, you can pretty much find lobster on every block along the waterfront,
that's
right?
true.
You would think. Now, a week ago, and as I get my glasses on here, the latest fishing shack opened up in the Portland Pier, but Luke's Lobster really is anything but a shack. It's not just another restaurant on the waterfront taking up some space.
It's definitely not. The owner, Luke Holden, his chef, Zach Lehman, and quite a few members of the staff actually come from fishing families. So preserving a working waterfront has been the focus of their brand new space, starting with fixing up the docks and actually making the space useful again.
I mean, the pylons were buckled and falling into the ocean. The first winter we were here, a pickup truck fell through the pier. What it looked like was we drove close to 80 pylons into the mud here. We did all the joisting, all of the decking. So we basically rebuilt the entire pier as the foundation before we even tackled restoring the buy station and then turning dilapidated office space and a residential condo into the lobster shack.
Having grown up in a fisherman family, the idea of keeping this working waterfront, what did that mean for you?
Well, I think anybody could come down into Portland and with the right amount of money demolish what made the Portland waterfront great and what keeps it great. And so having everything work together down on the end of this pier, without lobstermen and fishermen, you know, we don't have the amazing fresh product that we serve at Luke's.
Order a lobster and it comes directly from one of these tanks adjacent to the restaurant, which came directly from one of the boats tied to the docks surrounding the deck. Visitors can sit, sip a cocktail, and watch their catch come in. These guys take their waterfront relationship seriously with a slogan, no middlemen, just lobstermen. Even their coasters reflect that.
They're like baseball cards for the fishermen that, you know, for the lobstermen that pull in on the pier. And so they've got like their name and a picture of them. It's a little, you know, like Deadliest Catch intro as far as, you know, a TV show is concerned. It's pretty cool.
I've heard some of your lobstermen have already picked out their seat at the bar too.
They have. They're definitely our VIPs, so to speak. It's fun because a lot of them have family working here too, and that's I know that makes Zach and I feel good when we get to build a business and not only buy the catch from fishermen, but have them run ancillary businesses here or hire their sons or daughters and give them introductions to the hospitality world.
Nearly 10 years ago, Luke opened his first Luke's Lobster Shack in New York. Now, with spots all over the country, his catch has always come from Maine fishermen. A mission that's not only important to him, but to his new chef, who also comes from a fishing family.
We grew up on fresh haddock, scallops, lobster. you know, and that was the norm.
When times were tough, we had lobster, crab,
Exactly.
scallops,
Yeah.
and macaroni and cheese.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's what recession looked like in my household.
Yeah, that's what came off the boat.
And that's what my father was processing.
That's what Dad brought home. Ziploc bags of haddock fillets.
Yeah.
Safe to say both know their seafood, and Luke's brothers know how to build a beautiful space, designing this 2-story restaurant with nearly 360-degree views of Casco Bay and its working waterfront.
I think like I'm on the record like as early as like 3 or 4 years ago saying we would never open a restaurant in Portland because it was in Portland. And when we got the opportunity to be part of a project that revived the working waterfront and built a flagship shack that can showcase the brand and we can bring on experience and talent like Zach to just showcase the super high ingredients that are landed here in Portland. That's what got us super excited about this project.
Okay, so the grand opening was a little over a week ago, and what's really interesting is that they're actually planning to be open year-round.
Great.
So that'll be great for people in the area who want to go down in the wintertime and think about how great that view is going to be in the middle of a snowstorm, right?
And I love that they use the word shack.
Yeah.
Too. You know, it's kind of like the cottages that they have in Bar Harbor, you know?
It's
not a shack. Yeah,
the
it's a
very
shack,
nice
but it's not a shack.
I know, it's so pretty there. I can't wait to go. Can't wait to try
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
Not today, maybe in the rain. I mean, you can go inside and eat. I'm not
Right.
trying to discourage anyone from going, but it's a little rainy, but it's going to clear up, guys, for the next couple of days. And the weekend at least looks like it's going to be off to a good start. These were our high temperatures today. 58 is what we made it to in Portland. Usually at this time of year, we're around 73 degrees, so way below normal. Bangor was able to make it up to 65. Look at northern Maine. They were much warmer because they saw some sunshine today. The rest of us had clouds and rain around for much of the day. It's cooled off a little bit in most spots. Really, those temperatures dropped as we went throughout the day today. 51 right now in Portland, 50 degrees in Lewiston. It is kind of chilly out there. 53 now in Bangor, so cooling off even more. But as we head into the day tomorrow, temperatures will warm up some, and then they'll warm up even more as we head into the beginning of the weekend. So Saturday looking good. We'll talk about Sunday, though, maybe not so much. Still some rain around, of course. You can see it. It's continuing to move on out of here. A couple showers linger into the day tomorrow. You can see more rain off to our south and west. It looks like we'll just see a few spotty showers tomorrow, and then we'll clear up even more again as we head into the beginning of the weekend. Let's go through it hour by hour. Still through tonight, could still see those showers around, and then overnight, still some clouds and some clouds around for the day on Friday, again with just a couple isolated showers. Watch the temperatures, at least able to warm up a little bit more. By lunchtime tomorrow, most of us are in the low to mid 60s, and then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, upper 60s, lower 70s. But again, you can see those showers popping up, especially up north and in the mountains. Then as we go into the day on Saturday, things will clear up even more. Nice bright sunshine it looks like for Saturday morning. It should be pretty nice for most of us. Temperatures starting in the low to mid 60s, so you know what that means. We're going to warm up even more for Saturday afternoon. You can see at 1 o'clock we're in the low to mid 70s. Some of us will get pretty close to 80, it looks like, by Saturday afternoon. Another round of rain, though, moves in for Father's Day. Sorry, dads. Looks like we'll see some showers early Sunday, but it looks like also we'll see at least a partial clearing by Sunday afternoon. Then we kind of get into a little bit of a cloudy pattern at least. Sunday, some showers around. Monday, it looks like we'll stay mainly cloudy. Even into the day on Tuesday, there's a slight chance of some showers still. Same thing for Wednesday. So not a great pattern after this. Try to enjoy any sunshine while you can. Seas 4 to 7 feet tomorrow. Winds from the southwest at 10 to 15, gusting as high as 20 knots. Here's your 7-day forecast. Again, tomorrow, a couple showers. Temperatures much warmer, though, than today. It's not going to be tough to do. By Saturday, we'll be close to 80 degrees away from the coast. It looks pretty good for Saturday. Sunday looks okay. It's not awful. It's not great either. A couple showers, cloudy skies, clouds around for Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll finally see some nice sunshine again. But enjoy the day on Saturday.
Yeah.
Looks pretty
let's
good.
hope for like half a day on Sunday
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think that's what we'll get, about half a day.
Okay.
Does that work?
It's
Yes,
going
it works.
optimistically.
It
All right.
works.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, AT&T is canceling all pre-orders for Samsung's Galaxy Fold smartphone. A lot of people waiting on this one. The folding phone, which costs nearly $2,000, was initially scheduled to be launched April 26th, but that date has been postponed indefinitely due to device failures in some test versions. Samsung says it is working on further improvements that will help protect the display from damage. They were aiming to launch the phone this month. However, there is still no word on an actual release date. AT&T sending out cancellation notifications via email to anyone who pre-ordered the Galaxy Fold.
That's been problematic.
Yes.
This is really cool. Check it out. How would you like to go on the trip of a lifetime? You do need kind of a lenient vacation policy, but not a lot of cash. Airbnb is recreating the adventures from Jules Verne's classic novel Around the World in 80 Days.
Aww.
So you could travel across 18 countries using 8 modes of transportation, including a hot air balloon. The experience is meant to mirror the adventures of Phileas Fogg, from exploring the Galapagos Islands to hiking mountain ranges in Australia and everywhere in between. So starting June 20th, you can book your 80-day trip. It includes all accommodations, transportation between destinations, food and drinks. You do have to buy a round-trip flight to London because that's where it starts, but then it's fairly inexpensive. The price tag is $5,000, but again, that is for 80 days.
Yeah, that's not bad for
No,
80 days.
It's really good.
I mean, between you and Cindy, do you have enough vacation time?
If we combine it, maybe we can do it.
I'm thinking sabbatical.
Yes.
Do we get those?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's worth an ask.
A lot coming up at 5:30 tonight.
We do
yeah.
indeed. You know, how many times have we told people not to pour flammable liquids on fires, yet people do it. And now a toddler is severely burned. We're going to have that story coming up for you at 5:30. Also ahead, just last year in Massachusetts, a man was killed by a great white shark on Cape Cod Beach. And we've been hearing a lot about shark attacks on humans. So the question is, are the number of shark attacks actually increasing? We're going to verify that for you all ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right.
Da-da.
Jaws, first Jaws, shot right down there on the Cape.
That's right.
Ugh.
Yes, you know what that is.
I do, of course I do. All right,
There are some in the newsroom who would not.
now continues in a moment. I am not one of those babies. This is a shot you don't see very often. This one comes from Gail Smith at her camp in northern Maine. I hear Shannon Moss oohing and aahing over there. A moose cow nursing her twin calves. Gail said she saw at least 16 moose, 4 of which were calves, including these twins, during her week at camp. You can see they look a lot alike in this second picture. Just hanging with mom, getting some water, getting some sun. How sweet. Ah, love it. All right, that's News Center at 5. More news straight ahead at 5:30.